All right. So that much anticipated clash, much anticipated encounter between the top of the table clubs, Real Madrid and Girona, has come to an end, right? And what that means, the result ending in a 4-0 victory for the home team, Real Madrid, completing the double over Girona, right? And that means that Real Madrid now they extend their lead to 5 points at the top of the La Liga standings. So it was pretty much an interesting game of football to actually watch, right? And it did actually show that look, the experienced team that actually rise above the occasion, and history did support it did support football heritage. You understand? And I'm referring to Los Blancos, Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu as they cruise to a comfortable 4-0 victory over second place Girona. For those of your viewers at home that did not watch the game, you might think that Real Madrid were very dominant, but it was pretty much of a close game in the first half. Even irrespective of the fact that Real Madrid scored early in the game, irrespective of the fact that Real Madrid scored early in the game, as well as that they doubled their lead just like 10 minutes before halftime, it was still much of a close game because Girona had more of the ball, but unfortunately Girona just could not make it count. They could not make their ball possession count because they actually had more ball possession than Real Madrid. They actually could string along more passes than the home side, but in the second half Real Madrid did come out guns blazing and they were much more dominant, much more of the better side. And look, the scoreline does even reflect that. So it was obviously the informed Jude Bellingham who scored twice before going off injured. As the log leaders Real Madrid, they thumb title challenges Girona to go 5 points clear of the La Liga table, right? And how it actually started, the first goal was scored via a sensational long-range effort by, Vinicius Jr., which put them ahead, which gave Real Madrid an early lead at the Bernabeu in the opening 5 minutes of the game. What an incredible goal that was from the Brazilian, talisman. And from that particular moment in time, then Bellingham then scored his first goal of the game from a sublime Vinicius pass before converting his 20th, league goal of the season after halftime. And shortly afterwards, Rodrygo made it 4-0 before Jose Luis struck the post with a late penalty. It could have been 5-0 for Real Madrid, but look, it is what it is, right? Real Madrid still, secured an emphatic 4-0 victory over their title challengers. What that actually means is that now Jude Bellingham, he has now scored more La Liga goals for Real Madrid than any other midfielder in a single season this century. But unfortunately for the England international, his night ended on a sour note as he was forced off with an ankle injury. He fell to the ground after colliding with Barcelona loanee Pablo Torre and was treated on the pitch after several minutes before, gingerly getting to his feet. He was actually determined to continue, although the 20-year-old struck his second of the game after, Pablo Gazzaniga had saved Vinicius' initial effort, but he was, too hurt to carry on, and then he had to be replaced by Brahim Diaz moments later. And he was actually pictured on the Madrid bench with an ice pack strapped to his foot, but manager Carlo Ancelotti says the injury is nothing more than a sprained ankle, and he is going to be hopeful, and hopefully that Jude Bellingham will be able to recover in time for Tuesday's trip to RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Although, let me just say the least, I myself, Jude Bellingham has had an incredible season. He has exceeded all expectations since joining Real Madrid from Borussia Dortmund, in an 88 million euro deal last summer. And in November, he became the first player to score 14 goals in 15 appearances for the club in a 3-0 victory at, Cadiz, surpassing the previous record held by Cristiano Ronaldo, Alfredo Di Stefano, as well as Prudence Sanchez. Those are other Real Madrid greats, guys. Those are other Real Madrid greats, and he's just written his name amongst those greats. And he is also the first Real Madrid player to actually score in each of his first 4 Champions League appearances for the club and remains La Liga's top goal scorer this season with 16 goals. Imagine a midfielder being the top goal scorer in the league. I mean, that just shows you how much of a classy player that Jude Bellingham is, right? He's such a classy player. And another thing is that Jude Bellingham he had only found the net once since the turn of the year, right? And I sincerely feel that the former Birmingham player, he has blossomed into a complete midfielder at the Bernabeu, straight up, because if you actually attribute Bellingham's lack of goals, to a change of position, you understand? You see that Jude Bellingham is a fantastic player to watch on and off the ball, and the Real Madrid fans are in a way, they love this man. You understand? And I agree. They have to, because this is a man who has really exceeded expectations. He's been phenomenal to watch this season. He has been incredible for the Los Blancos this season. And let me just say, I would compare him to, I would say him as well as Antoine Griezmann of Atletico Madrid are the best players in La Liga at the moment. And, his recent lack of goals is partly known to the fact that, he's asked to be more involved in both offensive and defensive work. So he has to play a little bit deep in defense. But it doesn't matter, because you look at, his contribution to the team is still immense, nevertheless. And, He's in the top 7 in goals scored and actions finished and defensive stats, like being able to recover the ball on time, being able to create play. Even you might watch in some games Jude Bellingham, right? He can disappear from the game. You can see he might not be in the game for most parts of the encounter, but he can always make something out of nothing happen. He could always create something out of nothing. And another thing that, with Vinicius is that Vinicius now also scored his 12th goal of the season against Girona. It was just as effusive in his praise of his teammate. You understand? And Vinicius has also praised Jude Bellingham, saying that, Jude Bellingham is a star. You understand? Stating that Jude Bellingham scores a lot of goals and, he hopes that he can keep going. And Jude Bellingham has been the best player for Real Madrid this season. And that's true, right? And now, what does this victory mean for Real Madrid? This victory now means for Real Madrid that they have now extended their lead. I'm saying Real Madrid now, they've extended their unbeaten La Liga run to 18 matches, which is like their longest stretch without defeat since 2021. On the side of Girona, the away side, meanwhile, they remain in an excellent position in the top 4 despite slipping to just their second league defeat of an outstanding campaign. And again, it comes at the hands of Real Madrid. So Real Madrid have now, taken 6 points off Girona. They've now defeated Girona home and away, right? And Girona, the only team that they've lost to this season is Real Madrid. They've lost home and away to the Los Blancos. And wow, what an incredible game of football that was. It might look like it was one-sided, but, Girona were in the game for much points of the match. They did have 5 shots at goal, but none of them found the target, unfortunately. So it just goes by which team is more clinical in front of goal. And Madrid were way more clinical than, their Girona counterparts in front of goal.